So for my final presentation, I will be discussing how various religions view heaven, hell, and the afterlife, and how these beliefs affect their everyday life. I've always found it interesting how differing religions describe the afterlife and how different religions have similarities and differences when it comes to explaining what is unknown to us all. And in this presentation, I will be discussing the views and beliefs of Hinduism, Judaism, and Islam in reference to life after death. This topic relates to our classroom discussion about death and what happens after we die, and I was particularly inspired by the Taboo After Death episode that we watched as a class, which depicted different cultures and how they go about different traditions and rituals and beliefs about death and the afterlife and what to do after somebody dies. I will begin my presentation by talking about the religion of Hinduism and discussing the views and beliefs that people who practice Hinduism pose for life after death. Those in the Hindu faith believe in the concept of reincarnation, and to fully understand reincarnation, you also have to fully understand the concept of karma. According to a video posted by Hindu Lifestyle titled, "Why Do Hindus Believe in Reincarnation?" Karma is any action, mental or physical. The soul reincarnates until all karmas are fulfilled. So this means any aspirations or desires which can only be accomplished here on earth will then be carried on to the next life in rebirth. The soul reincarnates until all karmas are fulfilled, so this means any aspirations or desires that can only be accomplished here on earth will continue the cycle of rebirth into the next life. And those same aspirations will be carried into the next life as well. Additionally, Hindus believe that we all have a gross outer body and a subtle inner body. And so when we die, our gross outer body is left behind, and the subtle inner body containing your mind and your intellect will move on at the point of death and start anew. Hindus believe in reincarnation because they don't believe in a standard hell as most Western religions tend to believe in, and this way, through rebirth, the subtle inner body can relinquish karmas as it goes through reincarnation, and this way, once all karmas are fulfilled, then moksha is reached, and then the cycle of rebirth can end. According to the academic journal titled "Death Beliefs and the Practices from an Asian Indian American Hindu Perspective," the moral values of Hinduism are nonviolence, truthfulness, friendship, compassion, fortitude, self-control, and generosity. Therefore, this belief system affects Hindus' behavior by wanting to create meaningful and long-lasting relationships with other people and striving to remain truthful and generous in order to cease their karma and break the cycle of reincarnation. So now we move on to talk about the beliefs of heaven and hell and the afterlife pertaining to Judaism. Now, Judaism has somewhat of a very simplistic approach when it comes to these views. According to myjewishlearning.com, in the Jewish faith, they believe in passing away and then their souls will just await Judgment Day. So once Judgment Day comes, they believe all of their souls will be revived and experience something called Olam Haba. Now, Olam Haba is also known as the world to come, and it is essentially heaven and hell in the same place at the same time. According to JTV, Jewish Ideas Global Relevance, heaven is being close to God and hell is being away from God or not close to God. So this can mean just not practicing your religion or just rejecting God altogether. So this is because their souls will be living in regret of what they could have had on earth, the experiences they could have had through their faith if they would have practiced their faith, and just a better outcome of what their life on earth would have been. So it's basically just living in regret. And therefore, Olam Haba will be heaven for those who practice their faith on earth and hell for those who did not practice their faith. In the Jewish faith, the experience of Olam Haba, so either heaven or hell, is thought to be more of an emotional or spiritual experience rather than a reality and a physical experience. So the view of heaven and hell affects the behavior of Jewish people by encouraging them to just live fully in the moment and be present during your time here on earth, because we will all end up in the same place whenever Judgment Day comes. And it is mainly up to the individual to decide how they will experience Olam Haba. The Islam faith has a very different view of Judgment Day, however. IslamFaith.com states the journey to the afterlife begins at the grave. Once someone dies, the trial at the grave will begin, and angels of mercy will come to collect the souls of people who believe in God, whom they call Allah, and the angels of punishment will come to collect the souls who do not believe in Allah or who reject Allah. Once all the souls are collected, they are taken to Barzakh, and Barzakh is where all the souls will remain until Judgment Day comes. Chestnut Grove Academy states, when Judgment Day arrives, Allah will resurrect all of the bodies and souls and decide who will go to paradise, which is known as Jannah, or who will go to hell, which is known as Jahannam, based on their deeds performed on earth. Also, the people of the Islamic faith never have their bodies cremated because of this very reason, waiting for Judgment Day, because they believe that Allah will resurrect both of their bodies and souls, and once they go to paradise or hell, their soul will re-enter their body, and then they will live eternity in either of those places in their body. These beliefs affect the actions of those who practice the Islamic faith because they want to be recognized for their good deeds and spend paradise forever with Allah and be close to Him instead of being separated from Him in hell forever. Failure to do good deeds on earth will result in permanent separation from Allah, and Islamic people would much rather have the positive outcome of Judgment Day rather than the negative one. So we can learn a lot from these religions and cultures that are so different than our own. From Hinduism, we can learn how our aspirations can drive us beyond our lifetime and how remaining true to one's core values will always serve as a benefit. And from Judaism, we can learn how to embrace each moment that we have here on earth and to live fully in each moment. And through Islamic teachings, we can learn to respect not only who we come in contact with here on earth, but also those who may even be possibly beyond our grasp. And while we may not have any definite answer on heaven or hell or any afterlife for that matter, we can apply these teachings of kindness and generosity and appreciation in our physical lives on earth in hopes for a better existence.